The blues, that soulful music born from heartache and hope, is more than just a genre. It's a testament to the resilience and spirit of those who created it. It found its voice in the Mississippi Delta, a region steeped in history and rich in cultural heritage. The Delta, often referred to as the cradle of the blues, provided the perfect backdrop for this poignant music to flourish. This fertile land stretching along the Mississippi River was home to generations of African Americans who toiled in the cotton fields. Their days were long and grueling, filled with back-breaking labor under the scorching sun. Life was hard, filled with struggle and hardship. Families lived in modest homes, often in dire conditions, yet they found ways to persevere. The blues became an outlet for their emotions, a way to express their sorrows and joys. Yet from this crucible of pain emerged a powerful form of musical expression. The blues was not just music, it was a lifeline, a means of survival. It allowed people to voice their deepest feelings and connect with others who shared their experiences. Delta blues was raw and emotional, its haunting melodies played on acoustic guitars. The simplicity of the instruments belied the complexity of the emotions conveyed. Each note, each strum of the guitar told a story of pain, longing, and hope. The music echoed the pain of segregation, the longing for a better life, and the enduring spirit of the human soul. It was a reflection of the times, a mirror held up to society's injustices and the resilience of those who endured them. It was music made by and for the common man, telling stories of everyday life, love, and loss. The blues was a way to share experiences, to find solace in knowing that others felt the same way. Early bluesmen like Robert Johnson, Charlie Patton, and Son House became legends. Their music transcended the boundaries of time and place, resonating with audiences far and wide. With their soulful voices and masterful guitar playing, they laid the foundation for what would become a cornerstone of American music. Their influence can still be felt today, in genres ranging from rock and roll to hip-hop. Their songs, often filled with vivid imagery and raw emotion, resonated deeply with those who heard them. The lyrics painted pictures of life in the Delta, of love lost and found, of dreams deferred and realized. These early bluesmen often traveled throughout the South, performing at juke joints, house parties, and on street corners. Their music was a unifying force, bringing people together in shared experiences and emotions. Their music spread like wildfire, carried on the winds of change that were sweeping through the nation. The blues became a symbol of resilience and hope, a testament to the enduring human spirit. Little did they know that their music would soon find a new home and a new sound in the bustling cities of the North. The migration of African Americans to urban centers brought the blues to a wider audience, transforming it into a national phenomenon. The early 20th century witnessed a mass exodus from the South. This period, spanning from around 1916 to 1970, saw over 6 million African Americans leave their homes in the rural southern United States. They were driven by a desire to escape the oppressive conditions of the Jim Crow laws, which enforced racial segregation and disenfranchised black citizens. The promise of better economic opportunities and the hope for a more equitable society in the North and West were powerful motivators. African Americans seeking better opportunities and escape from the Jim Crow South boarded trains heading north. These journeys were often long and arduous, filled with uncertainty and hope. Families packed their belongings, sometimes leaving behind everything they had ever known, in search of a new beginning. The trains became symbols of freedom and new possibilities, carrying dreams of a better life. This movement, known as the Great Migration, brought millions to cities like Chicago, Detroit, and New York. These urban centers were bustling with industrial growth and offered the promise of jobs in factories, steel mills, and other burgeoning industries. The influx of African Americans transformed these cities, contributing to their cultural and economic landscapes in profound ways. Among those who made this journey were countless blues musicians. These artists carried with them the rich musical traditions of the South, deeply rooted in the experiences of hardship and resilience. The blues, with its raw and emotive power, became a voice for the struggles and triumphs of the African American community. They carried with them their guitars, their stories, and their music. The journey north was not just a physical relocation, but also a cultural migration. These musicians brought the sounds of the Mississippi Delta, the rhythms of the cotton fields, and the soulful melodies of their heritage. Their music was a testament to their journey and a beacon of their identity. Chicago, with its booming industrial economy, became a major destination. The city's factories and stockyards offered employment opportunities that were scarce in the South. The promise of steady work and higher wages drew many to the Windy City, where they hoped to build a better future for themselves and their families. The city promised jobs, a fresh start, and a chance to escape the harsh realities of life in the South. For many, Chicago represented a land of opportunity where they could achieve economic stability and personal freedom. The advertisements in newspapers and word-of-mouth stories painted a picture of a place where hard work could lead to success and prosperity. The arrival of these musicians transformed the city's musical landscape. Chicago's vibrant nightlife and numerous clubs provided a platform for blues musicians to share their art. The city's South Side became a hub for blues music, where artists could perform and connect with audiences who shared their cultural background and experiences. They brought with them the raw, emotional sound of the Delta, but it wouldn't be long before the city began to shape their music in new and unexpected ways. The urban environment, with its fast pace and diverse influences, infused the blues with new energy and innovation. The electric guitar, amplified sound, and urban themes began to emerge, giving birth to a new style of blues that resonated with the city's dynamic spirit. The urban environment, with its bustling streets, crowded tenements, and vibrant nightlife, provided fertile ground for the blues to evolve. The challenges of city life, from economic hardship to social struggles, found expression in the music. The blues became a way to navigate and make sense of the complexities of urban existence. The influx of Southerners also created a ready-made audience for the blues. These new arrivals, longing for a connection to their roots and a sense of community, found solace in the familiar sounds of the blues. The music provided a link to their past and a way to cope with the challenges of their new environment. In the crowded neighborhoods of Chicago's South Side, blues musicians found eager listeners hungry for a taste of home and a way to connect with their roots. The clubs and venues became gathering places where people could come together, share their stories, and find comfort in the music that spoke to their shared experiences. The music provided solace and a sense of community in a new and often overwhelming environment. It was a source of strength and resilience, helping people to navigate the challenges of their new lives in the city. The blues became more than just music. It was a lifeline, a way to hold on to their identity and find hope in the face of adversity. Chicago in the 1940s and 50s was a city of contrasts. It was a place where the old world met the new, where tradition clashed with innovation, and where the dreams of many converged. The city was a melting pot of cultures, ideas, and aspirations, creating a unique and vibrant atmosphere that was both exhilarating and challenging. It was a place of industrial might and economic opportunity where towering factories and bustling rail yards symbolized the promise of prosperity. The city's economy was booming, driven by manufacturing, transportation, and commerce. People from all over the country flocked to Chicago in search of jobs and a better life, adding to the city's dynamic and ever-changing character. But alongside this prosperity, there was also a darker side. The city was plagued by poverty, crime, and racial tension. Many neighborhoods were marked by economic hardship and social strife, with residents struggling to make ends meet. The stark contrast between wealth and poverty was evident, and the city's rapid growth often exacerbated these issues. The blues, with its themes of hardship, resilience, and the search for love and redemption, resonated deeply with the experiences of Black Chicagoans. For many African Americans who had migrated from the South, the blues was a way to express their struggles and hopes. It was a musical form that spoke to their lived experiences, capturing the pain and joy of life in a new and often unforgiving environment. As musicians from the Delta arrived in Chicago, they encountered a vibrant blues scene already taking shape. These artists brought with them the raw, emotional sound of the Delta blues, which blended seamlessly with the urban energy of Chicago. The city's clubs and bars became incubators for this evolving musical style, where musicians could experiment and collaborate. Clubs and bars on the South Side, like Silvio's, Teresa's, and the 708 Club, became hubs for this new sound. These venues were more than just places to hear music. They were community centers where people gathered to share stories, dance, and find solace in the rhythms of the blues. The atmosphere was electric, filled with the sounds of guitars, harmonicas, and soulful voices. The music pulsed through the streets, drawing people in and offering a temporary escape from the daily grind. It was a source of comfort and joy, a way to forget the hardships of life, if only for a few hours. The blues provided a sense of community and belonging, a reminder that no one was alone in their struggles. But Chicago wasn't just a place to play the blues, it was a place where the blues was transformed. The city's unique environment and technological advancements allowed musicians to push the boundaries of the genre. They experimented with new sounds and techniques, creating a style that was distinctly Chicagoan. The city's electric grid meant that musicians could plug in their instruments, amplifying the sound and creating a rawer, more powerful sound. This electrification of the blues was a game changer, giving the music a new intensity and energy. The electric guitar became a central element of the Chicago blues sound, adding a sharp, cutting edge to the music. This electrification of the blues was a defining moment in the genre's evolution. It marked the beginning of a new era, where the blues could reach larger audiences and have a greater impact. The amplified sound was more suited to the noisy, bustling environment of the city, and it resonated with the urban experience. This new urban blues was faster, louder, and more aggressive than its Delta cousin. It reflected the energy and intensity of city life, with its amplified guitars, driving rhythms, and lyrics that spoke to the realities of urban living. The music was a reflection of the city's spirit, capturing its vibrancy and complexity. It reflected the energy and intensity of city life, with its amplified guitars, driving rhythms, and lyrics that spoke to the realities of urban living. The music was a reflection of the city's spirit, capturing its vibrancy and complexity. The blues became a way for people to navigate the challenges of urban life, providing a soundtrack for their daily experiences. The music provided a soundtrack for a generation coming of age in a time of great social and cultural change. It was a voice for those who felt marginalized and unheard, a way to express their hopes, fears, and dreams. The Chicago blues scene became a cultural movement, influencing not just music, but also art, literature, and social activism. It was a testament to the power of music to bring people together and inspire change. No figure looms larger in the history of Chicago blues than McKinley Morganfield, better known to the world as Muddy Waters. Born in Mississippi in 1913, Muddy Waters absorbed the sounds of the Delta blues from a young age. He learned to play guitar and harmonica, honing his skills at house parties and juke joints. In 1943, Muddy Waters arrived in Chicago seeking his fortune. He worked odd jobs during the day, but at night he played his guitar on street corners and in small clubs. His powerful voice, raw style, and captivating stage presence quickly made him a local favorite. Muddy Waters' music was a potent blend of Delta tradition and urban grit. He sang of love, loss, and the daily struggles of life in the city, his voice resonating with raw emotion. His slide guitar playing raw and powerful became a defining element of the Chicago blues sound. In the late 1940s, Muddy Waters began recording with Chess Records, a small Chicago label that would become synonymous with the blues. His early recordings, including I Can't Be Satisfied, Rolling Stone, and Hoochie Coochie Man, became instant classics, establishing him as a major force in the world of blues.